In 1994, a dying woman was rushed into an emergency room, but within minutes, the doctors trying to save her began collapsing one by one. It was as if her very blood had been weaponized into a lethal, invisible gas. This is the chilling story of Gloria Ramirez, famously known as the Toxic Lady. Her case remains one of the most terrifying and controversial medical enigmas in human history. Today, we dissect the forensic reports and the secret government investigations to uncover what really happened inside Room 11. Prepare yourself. It was a typical Tuesday night at Riverside General Hospital when 31-year-old Gloria Ramirez arrived in critical condition. She was suffering from late-stage cancer and severe heart palpitations. As the medical team rushed to stabilize her, they noticed something bizarre. An oily, greenish sheen was covering her entire body, and a strange, fruity odor filled the air. Nurse Susan Kane was the first to notice a sharp, garlic-like smell coming from Gloria's mouth. Within seconds of smelling it, she felt a burning sensation in her eyes and throat. When a therapist drew a syringe of Gloria's blood, the entire room went silent. The blood didn't look human. It was filled with man-made tan-colored crystals floating in the vial. Suddenly, the first nurse fainted. As the doctors tried to help her, a second staff member began to lose control of her limbs and collapsed onto the floor. A third doctor started to feel a violent, itchy sensation on her skin, followed by a total loss of breath. The trauma room had officially become a biohazard zone. The hospital declared an internal code blue, and the entire ER was evacuated into the parking lot. It was a scene of total chaos as patients were treated on the pavement in the dark. Despite the medical team's desperate efforts, Gloria Ramirez was pronounced dead at 8:50 p.m. But the mystery of what killed her and poisoned the staff was only just beginning. 23 hospital employees were affected that night, with 5 requiring immediate hospitalization. One doctor, Julie Gorczynski, spent 2 weeks in the ICU, fighting for her life. Gorczynski developed a rare condition where her bone tissue literally began to die. The medical community was baffled. What kind of toxin could cause bone death in a matter of hours? The initial official investigation by the health department reached a shocking conclusion. They blamed mass hysteria, claiming the staff simply panicked because they were stressed. The victims were insulted by the hysteria label. How could a collective panic attack cause physical bone decay, tremors, and respiratory failure in trained medical professionals? Forensic experts from the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory were called in to investigate the chemical bomb theory. They looked at the chemicals Gloria might have been using at home. Their investigation focused on DMSO, a powerful industrial solvent often used as an alternative pain remedy. Gloria was known to be in extreme pain due to her terminal illness. The theory suggests that the oxygen administered by paramedics converted the DMSO on her skin into DMSO-2. This explains the tan crystals seen in her blood by the nurses. But the real horror happened when the doctors used a defibrillator. The massive electric shocks could have theoretically converted the DMSO into dimethyl sulfate, a lethal chemical weapon. Dimethyl sulfate gas is terrifying. It can dissolve lung tissue and cause severe chemical burns on contact. Gloria had accidentally become a walking gas chamber. Critics of this theory argue that this specific chemical reaction has never been successfully replicated in a lab. It would require a series of impossible environmental coincidences. This fueled rumors of a massive cover-up by the hospital. Some people believed there was a secret, illegal drug lab operating in the hospital basement that leaked toxic gas. Others whispered about the smell of bleach in the air, suggesting an accidental mixing of cleaning chemicals. But the presence of crystals in the blood points to something internal. Gloria's family was convinced that the hospital committed medical malpractice and used the toxic story to hide it. They filed a massive lawsuit to force a second, independent autopsy. When the second autopsy finally happened, the body was in a state of advanced, suspicious decay. Many of Gloria's internal organs were missing, and the body was heavily contaminated. Without the lungs and heart, it was impossible to prove the presence of dimethyl sulfate gas. The family accused the county of destroying the evidence to protect the hospital's reputation. Let's look at the oily sheen on her skin again. Medical experts say this could be a sign of total liver failure, where toxins are forced out through the sweat glands. But even the most toxic liver failure doesn't create a gas that knocks out 23 people in minutes. There had to be an external catalyst that turned her body into a weapon. Forensic investigators also looked into the hospital's ventilation system. They found that the air in the trauma room was recirculating rather than being vented outside. This means whatever gas was released from Gloria's blood was trapped in the room, getting stronger with every breath the staff took. It was a perfect storm of chemistry and bad engineering. To this day, the Livermore laboratory theory is the only scientific explanation we have. It implies that Gloria Ramirez is the only human in history to undergo this chemical change. But the lingering question remains: why were the organs missing? In any high-profile forensic case, the removal of evidence is a major red flag for investigators. Some independent researchers believe Gloria was exposed to a toxic nitrate compound outside the hospital. Her lifestyle and workplace were never fully investigated by the police. The Toxic Lady incident changed emergency medicine forever. Now, if a patient has an unknown chemical odor, the entire staff must wear full-body hazmat suits before treatment. Gloria's death was officially ruled as kidney failure caused by her cancer, but the official cause of the hospital poisoning is still listed as mass hysteria in some records. For the victims who still suffer from tremors and bone pain, the hysteria ruling is a slap in the face. They know what they smelled, and they know what they felt. Could there be other chemicals we use every day that become lethal when mixed with pure oxygen? The case of Gloria Ramirez suggests that we are all walking chemical experiments. The Riverside Hospital was eventually cleared of any wrongdoing, but its reputation never fully recovered. It remains a landmark case for both medical ethics and forensic science. As we look back at the night of February 19, 1994, the mystery feels just as fresh today. The ghost of the Toxic Lady still haunts the halls of modern forensic study. We are left to choose between a 1 billion chemical reaction or a massive, coordinated conspiracy. Which one is more terrifying to believe? The evidence is a mess of missing organs, tan crystals, and dead bone tissue. It is a puzzle that might never be fully solved, as long as the truth remains hidden. Some secrets are buried with the dead, and Gloria Ramirez took the answer to her grave. But the investigation into the impossible never truly stops. As forensic technology improves, we might one day be able to replicate the Toxic Lady reaction. Until then, she remains a warning of the unknown powers of the human body. What do you believe? Was it an impossible chemical reaction or a massive hospital cover-up? Let us know your theories in the comments below, because every lead matters. If this medical mystery kept you watching until the end, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next investigation. The past is never truly gone. It's just waiting to be found. Only here on Forgotten Clues.